Akino just continues! I'm sorry, were you in the middle of something? Please continue. I don't know. I didn't hear anything. Yeah.
Waiting for more Attack on Titan because we know that the second part of the season will be coming next winter.
I ruined it again.
Oh no!
They didn't hear the first part.
Did they just not hear that?
They didn't hear you guys.
Oh, so they can't hear us. You can't keep getting away with it.
Oh
my
man.
God!
I've ruined Attack on Titan forever.
It's ruined.
Let's start over. Sha, introduce everybody.
Yes.
Moss, do your bit.
Oh, no. Save my ears. Let us know. I just left my phone like this, and I heard screaming. Why? That's just like our podcast experience in a nutshell. Like actually in a sentence. Can they hear us now?
Yeah, they
can hear us now.
You can actually go.
Yeah, it works. It works now.
Okay, so we'll start this from re-zero. Okay, so we're just gonna do this real quick. Hey guys, I'm Sha, joined today by the GOAT squad. We got Panic, Maz, AJ, and Onimaru. We all said hi. You guys couldn't hear us. We're gonna pretend you did. Maz did a skit. I think you guys heard that. So I mean, we're all on the same page now. So thank you for joining us.
It's not an R-rated podcast live stream without a colossal disaster happening.
Yeah. Colossal. Well, we didn't get the colossal titan this episode, so I guess we need a colossal disaster in return. That's so something. Sad. Yeah. So apparently Tay is with us with that pun, so he's with us even when he's not. But
with us in spirit.
He's here. He's with us in spirit. But thank you guys for joining us. Especially, we made you guys wait a bit, but trying to get everyone used to the idea of waiting for Attack on Titan since we found out the second part of the final season will be coming out in winter 2022. So we will be doing a bit of waiting in between episode. Is today 75 and the next one is 76?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So, so we got a bit of waiting to do. But in the meantime, we had a really good episode today, really big cliffhanger. I think we've seen it coming for couple weeks on end once we found out where it was going to end, but still didn't make it any less exciting. So what did you guys think? Okay. Okay.
Thanks, Panic.
No, it was Panic. Good. It was good. It's frustrating that we have to wait like 9 months to see what Reiner's up to.
You can. Hey, that's perfect. That's plenty of time to have a kid.
Oh, you mean
before? Yeah. So if you're a subject of a mirror,
someone get on it right now. You can have a child when this.
Yeah.
You could have a child.
Subjects of a mirror, rejoice! You have exactly 9 months to have a child before
you're euthanized.
You can have a child while you wait.
Yes.
At first, I thought you were referring to like Historia having her child, and I'm like, it's not going to be like 9 months in their time, right? Like she's still pregnant.
They're like, oh man, we have to delay this show 9 months so she has time to have a baby. Can't end it now. She hasn't had it yet.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool. Peak got to do stuff. Yelena got to do stuff.
She did. I like that. I remember I already saw someone kind of complaining that they kind of like cut off in like the manga panel. I think you just see like in full shot, like her shooting the dude. But I think that was like, I don't know, is that censorship or was that just them kind of being like smooth with the directing? I can't really tell.
But didn't you see her shoot him?
No, I think we just saw him. I think we just saw him drop. I don't know. I thought it was either clever censorship or just,
It's not like anyone was confused.
It might have been a bit of both.
She had a gun to his head and he died.
Yeah, because I saw someone point out how like they were in the manga they show in detail like Eren's legs getting bitten off and then the other dude getting shot. But I thought it was kind of like clever censorship to kind of show like, I mean, we know what happens, but we're not seeing in like 4K these wounds. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I realized I always like those moments of, when you have like two guys who are on the same side and one dude is just going off like ranting about bullshit, and then the person in charge takes them down because they're like, no, we're not the same. We're not the same. Like, I'm not buying into your shit.
Reminds me of the Tuco scene in the first season of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Remember who you're working for. What the fuck
Yeah,
did you just
exactly.
say?
That was the exact thing. That was it. Yeah, it was like that scene where he's like, "What did you say to them?" Like, we're not playing that game. So I always appreciate that as a way of saying, like, you might be on my side, but you work for me.
But you know what? Chill.
Yeah, exactly. Like, stop calling these guys devils. We're not here to hurt them. We're here to euthanize them. Mercifully.
Yeah.
For me, it's probably the definitive moment for Yelena up until that point, where you can kind of see it's kind of hard to gauge where her motivations are at or what her sentiments are, but that moment in itself kind of shows what she's actually trying to do. And like, even though she might be doing things that go against the Paradis crew, her sentiments aren't exactly in opposition or aren't exactly antagonistic to them. So I think that moment says a lot.
Yeah, I think that was really cool. And, it definitely, I think today was like a good episode for, showing Yelena and Peak both like their true motives, even though they've both been kind of mysterious in different ways. Yelena on purpose, Peak kind of just by her nature. So it was cool to see them both play pivotal roles and show, unique perspectives.
I love the scene of Peak just like winning over everybody with a simple "Hey guys," and everybody's just blushing.
These freaking simps.
Everybody's simple Peak. She's so great.
Yeah, as soon as she did the "Hey guys," I noticed Galliard in the crowd just looking back at her. I'm like, was that a signal? Was that a signal to him, or was that just?
Oh, he was in the crowd.
Yeah.
I saw someone point this out on the Reddit, and I didn't think about it. I thought it was like just kind of a meme because, that guy kind of gives like a glare while everyone else is blushing, and it's like,
Well, that's
because
I didn't even
I
think
was
to look
already
for that.
yeah, that's clever.
Yeah, I was already suspicious of her, like actually being on Eren's side, because like she was just asking too many questions for actually be going along with it. And then, later when she pointed at Eren saying that's the enemy, and then the ground cracked. I'm like, oh, of course. Okay. So he was in the crowd because that's why he's coming up from below. He was right there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I wonder what the actual signal for him to jump up was. Like, how did he know? Like,
It's probably just a timing thing. When I wave, count to 60 and then
jump up. Yeah.
And then do it.
Yeah. I think that was great. Yeah, I think that was pretty awesome. And I think she just does such a great job because everything she's saying is like half a lie, half truth, though. Like, she obviously doesn't trust Marley, as she says by the end, but she does trust her comrades. So it's like, yeah, of course I'll betray Marley, but I'm not going to betray my comrades. They mean a lot more to me.
Kind of like, unlike Zeke, who betrayed his comrades.
Speaking of Zeke, they never showed what happened to Levi.
They did not.
We never saw Levi if he survived or not.
Which means he survived.
Which means he's fucking alive. There's also another clue, which is that even though Zeke had this rocket in his abdomen, he's not dead. He is his entire upper torso is intact. What is in these rockets? They suck so bad.
The thunder spear's not bringing the thunder.
A thunder spear. They do nothing.
Well,
they have not killed a single person in the entire show.
Have they? I feel like they have.
They have taken people out of their titans. They haven't killed anybody. Never. I don't think so.
They've killed human beings. No, I don't think people in titans.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they've just mostly been used to try and get Reiner to collapse, but it only like sometimes works,
used to
sometimes
break
doesn't.
Armor.
Yeah, like that's kind of the only times they've been used.
I'm here to say that armor-piercing ammunition also works on meat. Also works on non-armored people.
So is this your way of saying you take their swords over the thunder spears?
I'm here to... I mean, it's like 100 years ago you had grenades that can vaporize a person. These things are the size of a cannon each. They nothing.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
Yeah, I don't even know what to call it. Zeke getting rebirthed. I don't know. That was
He
interesting.
got stuffed into a belly.
I legit thought Zeke was gonna die, and then I see that happen, and I'm like, is this just a new way of eating, or
is this the thing they can do? Do you heal if you're inside another Titan?
He's gonna get the
just
Titan
for
blood.
safekeeping? What is this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gross is what it is.
It was definitely gross. We haven't seen something that gross in a hot sec, so I was glad we were able to go back to Attack on Titan's origins of grossing me out via Titan.
Yeah.
So, staying true to itself in a weird way. But
For once, it moved backward in order to move forward.
Yeah. So he just Zeke moved backwards and he did not move forward, which is why he's not our main character. But speaking of our main character, he's very good at casually just disarming people who have guns to his head. He's just like, yeah, you're not gonna fucking do it. You're not gonna do it.
You're not gonna shoot me.
I love that
Why not?
scene.
Because you're not. Ah, shit.
Pete just walks in and is like, "You're a hostage," and Eren's like, "No, I'm not."
Am I? Am I though?
Just pulls a reverse
like...
card like, "No, you're a hostage, bitch."
Yeah, like he knows that they're not gonna do it because they need the Titan. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to kind of pull that around, but yeah, pretty predictable that we know he will not be going down as a hostage. Yeah,
Yuki Kaji pulls off the really sly confidence, I guess, really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
His voice actor has done so much. Like, I feel like it's just so amazing to see just how versatile he is, even within the same role. So he has been.
What they need to do is figure out a way to knock him out. Don't kill him, just make him unconscious.
Well, I mean, they could have probably actually done the Zeke thing of like, if you move, you set off the Thunder Spear, but I don't think they want to. Yeah,
and also
you're just here to be like,
they don't want to risk killing him.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
There's
I think
be a way to knock people unconscious. Poison? I don't know. Chloroform?
I don't think they have that, but I mean,
how do they capture people in this
should
world?
write in some suggestion notes to the squad and be like, look, you guys need to do a better job of keeping your prisoners under control.
Like point guns at people's heads, and if you can't kill them, then you're bluffing, and it's easy for him to call.
Yeah.
Just knock him out and eat him. You just need the founder. Have her eat him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they can have the founder eaten, or no, you're just saying anyone can eat him, right?
Anyone could eat him and become the founder.
Yeah.
All they need to do is knock him out and then eat him.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but
yeah, Galliard ate like a piece of his legs, right, or a leg.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Does it work to eat just pieces? What part?
No,
I think we talked about this before. What part of the person has the Titan gene?
I think they have to have. I think it's like their entire body, like their head. I think it's definitely just their head.
Because he turned one girl into like a slushy and just drank her.
Yeah, I think for that it's a bit different. I think it's a little different.
You need a certain percentage of total blood.
Yeah.
Blood amount.
Yeah. Yes.
So I mean, Zeke would probably know.
Zeke would probably know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was an interesting hold-up situation. It's interesting. Gabi is just, I don't even know what to say with Gabi. Like, she's just down bad. She's in a tough situation across the board.
Poor Gabi has been traumatized this entire second half.
Gabi is just, she shot Sasha, and it's been downhill from there. Like,
she got fucked up by that horse, and it's just been down. She got cursed by that horse. Her life has been miserable ever since that horse.
Yeah.
Where's Falco? Is he just in prison somewhere?
Yeah, he's imprisoned with the rest of them below.
The rest of the ones who've
who've
invested
in the cell
it.
with Armin and the rest?
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I really like the scene of I forget his name, so I'm gonna call him Sasha's boyfriend, where he was fighting the dude who Yelena shot. Niccolo, thank you. So that was a cool scene of just, him defending them, and how, like, both sides of hate, whatever. But like, that was just a cool scene in general to see how, they're able to overcome their prejudice, but then like some of them not completely. Like, they're still stuck in thinking that they're all devils. But it's like so many different sides who are technically on the same side, but they all have different ideologies, so to speak.
Sorry.
Yeah. In episode 13, I think, it was probably 13, where he says that, he doesn't really know what he's doing. He doesn't know where his motivations are at. He's kind of just confused. I think this episode kind of shows exactly where they are, even if he doesn't realize it himself, through contrasting him with whatever, Grease, I think the guy's name was.
Yeah. Better than me remembering these guys who are about to get shots names. Yeah, but I think that was it. I think that was him, and it's, I don't know, they do a good job of it because it's so interesting to not just have like 3 sides. It's just so many different sides and people who ended up there for various reasons. I mean, even with just the callback of how they have different, armband systems for people who turned at the right time or not. Like, that was so cool to see.
Yeah, I was surprised they actually like categorized them so specifically. So 3 armbands for people that were completely unaware, and then people that were were forcibly made to comply, and then the people that were just just willing from the beginning.
Yeah, that's like so ridiculous, and just how Yelena handles it in such a calm way of being accused of saying like you handle it the same way as your hated enemies, and then she's like you can learn a lot from your enemies, and and then Pixis was like, even how to hate others. Like, that was just such a poignant moment. It's just like kind of wild to see how much has developed over the past couple episodes, but leaves us in a really interesting spot. I'm trying to think of every like moving part we have going on at this point. It's an interesting stopping point because I don't think it's a bad stopping point, but we are like pretty much right in the middle of the action.
Yeah, it's about to hit the fan.
Yeah.
That's what I feel makes the wait tough, at least for me. Just like it was right in the middle of the action.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so me and AJ know what's gonna happen. So, I try not to say too much, but I mean, what are you guys thinking about like what we have to look forward to?
I mean, it looks like war, right? Looks like someone's gonna
shot in
fight.
the dark on that one.
Interesting,
Yeah, you know what?
Panic.
I'm just gonna go ahead and guess that there's soldiers on those 5 zeppelins.
Maybe.
Reiner included. He's probably gonna fight Eren.
Is this the 4th or 5th time they've fought?
I have no idea.
I know it's at least 4.
4th.
4th?
There was after the reveal. There was in Shiganshina. There was in Liberio.
So this would be.
And then this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that might be
it's
the same one. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
yes, to me the question would be: does Reiner have his fighting spirit back, or does he still just want to die?
I'm sure he wants to fight, if assuming he's actually there.
He probably wants to save Falco and Gabi.
Yeah.
He's begrudgingly here, but he's here to do what he has to do.
Yeah.
But is this the first time they're fighting again, like here, since years ago when they first fought, or is this the 3rd time? I guess.
I guess
behind the walls.
Wasn't
3rd time
the
behind
last time with when like Erwin died and
that was returned to
right?
yeah, that was returned to Shigashima.
That's
Second
the
time
last
and that was the last time was I think that counts. So it's always in the same spot too, so that's kind of funny. But
that's when they invented spears and they wrestled and all kinds
when
of
he's
cool
like,
stuff.
you guys probably regret teaching me how to use these moves. Because it's like Annie and Reiner taught him how to fight, and now he's using it against them.
Yeah. Oh, what the fuck? When is Annie gonna do anything? Will she ever wake up?
I don't think
Will
so. I think that's it.
She's gonna be put in a Titan-sized sling and used as ammunition.
That would be funny. Yeah, I mean,
all I'm predicting, because I don't really know what to predict. So I'm kind of the same thing I said a few episodes at this point. But I'm guessing, Zeke obviously probably survived. Maybe he'll meet up with Eren at some point. Maybe join the battle. Maybe sling some rocks from the distance. But pretty much, I think the rest. This is like the final battle. Like this is probably it. Not like
it's
probably
the last
not gonna
war.
Maybe, because then I don't know. Would they go back to Marley to settle it again? Would it, or I think it would just play out here.
Wonder.
You
Well-
would have to go back to Marley and take out the command, I guess. Otherwise, they're just going to keep invading, right?
But like, are all the Titans from Marley that are left? Are they here now? They're all,
They would be,
Reiner.
right? So Jaw is there, Peak is there, Cart and Female are there. Colossal is Armin, and Eren has the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
They're
really
all there.
camping on. Yeah, he's
Everybody's
really camping
here.
on all those Titans.
He's hawking everything. Oh yeah, there's Beast too. He's also there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this at least has to be the definitive Titan fight.
Yeah, I think we do. We have all the special Titans there.
Is this a Titan battle royale? Are they going to be Fortnite gamers?
Well, they're dropping in from the sky, so I mean, they can
Oh,
thank
where
the
we
bus
dropping?
driver.
Boys,
Yeah. They're
they're gonna
dropping
wipe
into...
out tomatoes.
They're going to wipe out Shiganshina.
You know, I hate how well these memes with this. I mean, it's like
Clash
so
of the
perfect
Titan,
though.
finally.
Yeah, I think it's pretty wild. It's a cool spot to bring it all back here. But then there's also the, hidden threat that it could be super Titan time, because like everyone in the area has also been turned into a Titan who drank the wine, so it could be like mega Titan time.
Oh God.
That would like be the
Oh,
actual
dear God.
apocalypse for the series.
Yeah,
Because that's just every character at this point.
yeah. I mean, I think it's like all the top military guys. I
Like,
don't
like,
think
even-
like it'd be probably easier to list the people the at least the major characters that aren't going to be Titans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is pretty much our squad.
I want to predict that some Marleyan commander is going to face some poetic justice and just be eaten by some bottom feeder no-name Titan. Just some rando. Gonna fall down to the airship, land somewhere stupid, and just be eaten by just some dumb Titan that was exiled there by their dumb government.
That would make sense. Well, I think they took out all the other Titans, so it would just be someone from like,
One of the
Someone
new
from-
ones, maybe. One of the new ones that's been turned.
yeah, that could be them.
The
Yeah,
one with
I
the
mean-
belly.
The
The
one,
belly one.
the one carrying Zeke
Yeah.
is like absolutely wild. Yeah, so I think that's a lot to look forward to. A lot of craziness. Do you guys have any bold predictions, since we've done so well as a podcast in terms of predictions?
Oh.
Well, it's hard, man. God, it is tough
That-
to predict.
Throwback to when we had Sinris on, and they said that there's no way Sasha is dying. That was like
Oh, wow.
episode 1.
They don't have the balls to kill Sasha. They will
Yeah,
kill Connie.
Yeah, they said they don't have the balls to kill Sasha, and literally the next episode, Sasha got killed. So I took great enjoyment out of
And they
that.
have not been seen on the podcast since.
Yeah.
Oh, waiting, you think? I think so.
Yeah.
A bold prediction. I mean, I'm guessing some more main cast is gonna die, but I don't know who. It's tough to say who, because now it won't be Connie. Connie is safe forever.
Connie
Yeah.
is safe
Maybe
because Sasha
Mikasa.
died.
I could see Mikasa dying.
You saw Mikasa getting married. It's like an
That's
undercover.
because I had a lot more faith in their plan. I
It's
thought
like,
they were like deep undercover infiltrating and had been there for 5 years. I didn't think Eren had just said fuck it and gone off as his own.
All right, my prediction, but I don't know if this is bold. It's just kind of like, I think Eren might be like a triple agent. Like he's playing Zeke too, and he has his own plan. He's not for the euthanization. He's trying to do something else.
Is there anything that makes you think that, or just a prediction?
Just because, like, I don't know, just how I read into it, the scene where Zeke, tosses him the ball, the baseball, and they're kind of like in Marley when they met up, like Zeke was like overwhelmingly happy, but Eren wasn't really responding in kind, like from his
Yeah.
facial expression. He was kind of like, yeah, like, sure.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
I think that's a good call. I could see Eren just agreeing to the euthanization plan because at the end of it, he's the one who's going to decide what happens when they touch hands.
Honestly,
He's the one with the founder, so he gets final call.
it is just. I think it's just completely impossible to predict what Eren's really thinking at this point. He's just a total wild card.
And also, Eren has like all the memories of his father. Correct me if I'm wrong. From so he knows kind of what Zeke did and kind of all of that. So he has the advantage to kind of play him if he wanted to.
He also and the memories of that one woman. So he's got like every side, the knowledge of every side or something.
Yeah,
That's
and if
true.
he could,
He's got the knowledge of the Warhammer Titan.
and if he could do what he did to Falco, why wouldn't he do that to Zeke? I think.
Yeah, you mean like lead him on and like betray him?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like for his own agenda, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
True. But then that makes me wonder, why did he say what he did to Eren and Mikasa? No one else was listening.
To Armin and Mikasa?
Yeah.
Well, I guess Gabi was listening.
Gabi was there.
I mean, kid who killed Sasha. Marley kid who killed Sasha.
That is who she is. Kid who killed Sasha.
That's definitely how she'll be remembered.
Kid. Kid who killed Sasha.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think it's interesting. I feel like a lot of people just don't really buy into what he said to Armin and Mikasa. I feel like a lot of people were like...
It was very out of nowhere.
By the way, I've always hated you.
Yeah, that was
BT dubs. I always wanted to tell you this. I hate you.
And I've always wanted to beat you up.
Yeah.
Although it wouldn't be that crazy because he is like 5 different people now. Maybe part of him does hate that about Mikasa now. I don't know. We'll never know. Perhaps we will never know.
By the way, I do have to say this. I noticed this episode. Like, what is with this season and people just being able to casually walk up to people and just ambush them? Like,
oh yeah.
First it was
just, oh hello. Steve.
First it was Eren and he rolls in. Hey, what's up? And now it's Peak out of nowhere.
Peak just walks in and just like stabs the guy in the throat in like 2 frames, and it's like, hey, what's up?
Peak is Eldian, so she fits in like naturally in the whole aesthetic. So
yeah.
Stamp.
He was very sleepy and dead inside, so she could pretty much just be Levi.
It's a lot of people, like super close-ups of people's dead eyes, just 50,000 bags, like dark bags on their eyes.
Yeah.
There was, I guess, in terms of predictions for anyone who doesn't know the manga. There was a split second, just like a couple of seconds of a frame when Zeke was, in his haze, where he saw the vision of a little girl. I was wondering if anyone had any thoughts about what that could be about.
I saw that, and I didn't recognize who the little girl was. So I tried to think like, I really didn't know who it was, and I couldn't figure it out. But I took note of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because my first thought, and I was like, the only little girl that I could think he'd know, I was like, maybe his father, Grisha's like little sister, but then she didn't look like that, and then like, why would he know what she looks like? So I'm like, he would like from a picture, but she didn't have like blonde hair, I think so.
Okay, I'm like looking at the screen of this, and she looks really. Her eyes look really fucked up. What's going on?
I think that's one of those things where they shade it so you can't see her eyes. I don't think that's her face.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
She's not born like that. Don't worry.
Yeah, I wonder who that is. I mean, I guess it could be a memory of Mr. Kisaver, who had the Beast Titan before him.
We have way too much fun with that name. Kisaver.
Why put a K there? It's stupid. Mr. Saber. Tom Saber.
Yeah, we don't know, but it is interesting. It's interesting to speculate.
Unless
does Zeke have a daughter somewhere? Is it Paths? Is that what it is?
Yeah, there's not too much to go on. There's like 2 breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Unless it's Yelena, but when
wait, I can post images.
But then again, he met her later, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yelena, his daughter?
She's like a foot taller than Zeke right now, but that's his kid.
That was so much of early Attack on Titan was, this person is actually in this family.
There's the girl with the
Revelations.
messed up eyes that I was talking
actually about. This guy's daughter is actually this guy's son and brother. It's an Ackerman. It's another fucking Ackerman. Everybody's an Ackerman.
So funny. Where did you post it?
On screen.
The one we're recording in. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Wait, that looks like what's her name?
The girl from the
Amy?
farm.
Yeah.
Oh.
That looks like the girl from the farm. that loves Sasha. Wait.
Hold on. Wait just a second. I think it's too early to try and guess this.
It would be a reach.
They're trying not to say anything.
Try not to talk challenge very hard.
I legit, after the episode ended, like right when it ended today, I was just like, yeah, I gotta go read the manga.
Yes, we got another one. Hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would, if I didn't already, I'd probably read the manga after this, just because it's in such an inconvenient spot.
I mean, I am so curious, but every time I see a manga screenshot, they just all look so janky. The art style, I cannot get over.
No,
it.
here's the good part. The
like,
part of this story
it has like
it's
standout panels, like when he's putting on the coat or whatever. But then a lot of the just talking to each other, it looks so goofy.
Yeah, as a former manga reader, I get you.
Yeah, I think you like if you're gonna jump in at any part, I think this is the part where the art is at like the most consistent. So, I mean, I think it's at a good part here, but I understand your reservations.
Plus, we need some more anime onlys for when we cover the next season.
Yeah,
it's no fun if we've all read it.
I feel like by then everyone will be spoiled on it within the next couple of weeks.
I mean, just beyond Twitter, you will know everything that happens every week.
Yeah, probably from my account. Apologies.
From Sha liking.
Probably from mine too.
I have spoiled everyone on Haikyuu by liking things, and I feel half responsible, but I do think that is Twitter's fault because
whenever I see a sliver of like an Attack on Titan panel on Twitter, either because of Sha or someone else, I just immediately just scroll down. I just scroll past.
Yeah.
I don't even.
It's really impressive.
Poke myself in my eyes. No, bad. Don't look.
Don't look. Yeah, I mean, yeah, general condolences. I do blame Twitter, but also myself.
I've also heard that Twitter's gotten extra bad about spoilers because it will just like show you things from a popular topic, even if you don't follow any of the people talking about it. It'll say people are talking about this, and
yeah, when it's like people are talking about anime, and then it's like all Jujutsu Kaisen stuff.
Attack on Titan, chapter 140, whatever it's at now, and just bam.
Well, for future reference, do not look for 139. That's the one coming next month. So avoid those
and
numbers.
Also the last chapter ever.
Avoid 138 and 139.
I don't even
130s.
know what happened the other day. I was like scrolling through my Twitter. I think it was in the morning. I was kind of like not fully awake, and I just like you know when you picture expand and like I don't know why I expanded like an Attack on Titan panel from like one of the latest chapters, and I just opened it. And before I could register what it was, I'm like, what am I doing?
No.
Your body moved on your own.
I was like, ooh, wait, what?
Back was like, everyone will be spoiled to you 2 weeks from now. I love that. Just
it's going to be dangerous really soon.
Yeah, it's going to be not good. I would just...
I'm looking at Twitter right now, and Sha liked a spoiler.
I didn't.
Good job, Sha.
Unfollow her. Anime onlys, unfollow her.
Yeah, don't look at my account. Mute me. What did I like? I didn't like anything. You know what I just liked? Someone saying they're gonna play Steins Gate next. You can't fool me. I'll spoil Steins Gate.
I'm gonna DM you the post that I saw.
Yeah.
Yes, good job, Panic. Just go and read the spoiler again so that it can remain in your mind.
I've already seen it.
I don't even know what this is, to be honest. I don't even know when this
But it said you liked it.
Yeah, but I don't remember this. No, this happened in season. No, this happened a while ago. I'm clean.
Okay.
I'm cleaning my hands of this responsibility. Well, yeah, you have. It's in season 3.
No,
Panic skips seasons confirmed.
Panic was not. Panic watched with his eyes closed. I knew it. Knew it. Okay. Anyway, yeah. I mean, there's a lot to speculate on. A lot of spoils to be dropped. But yeah, I think it was a good place to stop. I think. We got a lot done, but it's going to be a long wait until the next season comes out. Are you guys down that we're having just more of this season? Like, do we think we're getting another core, or are we just getting like one episode? Because it's kind of...
No, they've said it's part 2.
Yeah, they said part 2.
Okay, because someone was like, is it just going to be one big OVA? And I was like, that doesn't sound right. So I'm glad it's a part 2.
I am excited to be getting more. I feel a little bamboozled by them calling it the last season without.
But you're just not used to Gintama logic, which is like, or you know, you're a Monogatari fan. They've had the same final season.
Yeah, it's never over.
Yeah,
there's always more.
Final season for real this time, part 2.
I expected it after they pulled the whole season 3, part 1, part 2. So
yeah, that was what I was gonna say. Like they've already done this before, and people are wondering like, oh, like lol, not actually final season. But I want to say that you have to think of this. Shut up. You have to think of it as an by this they're not saying season. They're not categorizing it as a season in regards to the number of episodes. They're categorizing it based on the story that it's telling. And you can go back to all the previous seasons and just say, you know, like season 1 of Attack on Titan, the story, I mean, really the story begins at the very beginning, but mostly the story is about Eren becoming a Titan. That's kind of how it starts, and then ending with the discovery of other people becoming Titans. And then season 3 in particular, you know, you get that split. That's because it starts with like oh god, I'm losing my train of thought. It starts with like
you're doing good.
It starts with that basically how does
the Levi chase, the political stuff.
Yeah,
Kenny?
I was like trying to thread it all together, but it ends with like the discovery of the world outside, and there was like a link to that in the beginning. Whatever. But this season, the final season, you know, it starts with, you know, them invading Marley and all that, and so we're still getting the same story in part 2.
It ends with them being invaded.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, Maz, you're onto something. That's amazing. Good job. I mean, like, it's like when you read it, it's like all part of the story, so it kind of flows. But like the way you put it, that's so true that, you know, it started with them invading and now they're being invaded. That's a good way. Like, we've come full circle even in this one half of the season.
Yeah, I had a much tighter line of thinking. I had a much clearer reason for that, but I've been very caffeinated and not very well slept over the last few days. Sorry.
You did good though.
There's that overall thing that you mentioned where it sort of mirrors itself, but then also within this part 1 of the season itself, it begins with a Marley invasion and ends with one too, like an aerial bombardment. They even played the same music, like the exact same track.
Even like I think people pointed out that I don't know if it was the first and last shot specifically, but Reiner looking down from the airship is, you know.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, we really have come full circle. That's awesome.
It's very cyclical.
Yeah.
It's like poetry.
Yeah. It's telling one like complete.
Every frame is so dense. There's so much going on.
Yeah, I think they did a good job with that. I am sad because I think we had like a bunch of different predictions for where it would ended, but I'm down with this because, I mean, even since the beginning of this season, I was kind of worried that they would rush a lot, and I feel like, you know, there were like a few parts of the Marley arc, which I think we felt were a bit too truncated, but then they kind of like let it breathe a lot more in War for Paradise, and so I think they did good with that, and if that leads to another, you know, core, or I don't even know how long they're planning on it, I think that's good, and it should be good for that upcoming content. So
we've got about,
I'm happy.
What, 22 chapters, 23 or so?
23.
Okay,
so would that be like another 16 episodes or another like 12? Is that enough for another?
Well, these 16 have covered 26 chapters, and we have 23 left. So a tiny bit less, maybe, if you're thinking just episodes.
Okay, so like maybe 13, 14, probably less.
Yeah, so I think they can definitely do it. I think they definitely have the capabilities to do it in that time frame. Definitely prefer it a bit more to a movie, despite, you know, we've seen a lot of like series being wrapped up with movies. Actually, it might just be Gintama. I'm not even sure. I think it might just be Gintama being wrapped up with a movie, but I'm definitely down with that. I feel like it's, you know, a fitting way to end the series. So
I'm so glad they're not doing a movie route, because that would just be, you know, people are saying, oh man, 9 months, we got to wait 9 months. But imagine if it was a movie. We'd have to wait even longer, because the movie would come out in Japan, and then we'd have to wait another 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. Because we have to wait. Yeah, we have to wait for everything, and it takes a while, and it's kind of a pain.
And it'd be harder sell to call the movie Attack on Titan final season.
Final movie.
Final movie.
Final movie.
Final season, the movie.
Well, then this would be the final season because the movie isn't a season.
Yeah, that would just be.
I did bring that up in a past episode. I'm like, hey, they could just do a movie series, and it's technically not a season.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The ending could be a video game, like a Telltale style video game.
Oh my god, I don't understand that reference, and I'm hopeful I don't have to.
Oh, okay.
I think no, I should. I'm just afraid I would just be like, no, please don't make it a video game ending, or like it was all a dream.
I understood that reference, Panic.
Thank you.
I understood it too.
Oh,
I
I think
did
it's.
as well.
I think it's just me.
Get wrecked, Shaw.
Just me. Yeah. Whoops.
All
Sorry.
the true gamers get it.
The epic Fortnite gamers get it. All right. So how about the fact that we our predictions of this season collapsing in production were wrong?
Yeah.
Mappa
Wait a minute.
Stuck the landing.
Yeah.
I cannot freaking believe it.
I've never been more wrong in my life, and I've been wrong a lot. You know, like pretty consistently. If you asked me like months ago, remember when we were making predictions for like which series would have good sequels? Like what were the other sequels we had going on? Because we had The Promised Neverland, which is nice. I didn't think that would like crash and burn. We had another one. I forget what other sequel we had. Oh, Haikyuu. We had Haikyuu going on. Haikyuu had more production issues, or at least more obvious production issues than Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
It definitely did, yeah.
Yeah, like
How had like some glaring standout goofs.
If you would have asked me, what is it, like 6 or 7 months ago, however long ago, who would have the best adaptation between Haikyuu, The Promised Neverland, and Attack on Titan, I would not have guessed Attack on Titan by a long shot. Just hearing about their scheduling issues, but I mean, I don't even know what the Mappa staff did, but they pulled out a miracle. I mean, I don't think it's
good.
They did really good.
No,
I
it's
feel
crazy.
like there's been like I don't want to be negative about it. It's like there is a teeny tiny drop like throughout, but it's not criminal. It's not bad at all.
Yeah,
they've maintained the level of quality so good.
I think episodes 10 and 12 are the ones where you can see most of the, I guess.
There are some dips here and there.
Yeah, I think those are the ones that have the most of the dips. Mm-hmm. But overall, like, it's so much better than I expected it would be.
Yeah, I think I might actually. I'm gonna re-binge it because it's easy to I kind of forget it over like 16 plus weeks, like how the episodes at the beginning played out. But I'm gonna re-binge it, but it might be my favorite like adaptation of the series because there's like it's been up and down in terms of how well the series has been adapted since season 1. But there was like a lot of really good direction, a lot of really cool like color design, and just like a lot of really cool like extra details that they added to this season that I thought were really stand out. So they not only did they not only didn't fuck up, they also did like above average in so many different capacities, and it was really cool to see.
Yeah, lots of little touches throughout, like in the one I think about the most in terms of little details is the Panzer Squad, Peak's Panzer Squad with the photographs in the sort of whatever you call it,
in their like mini like ship thing that's attached to her. I don't know what to call it. Yeah,
like the little details like that were really cool, and just they went the extra mile.
Yeah, I always think of the I think it was like the first episode of the War on Paradis arc, like the one that started that, where they show Eren shooting the gun in target practice, and then that becomes the bullet that shoots Sasha from like Gabi's point of view, like that really cool transition. Then even in the last episode where we have Panic, what's our dude's name? The guy who's the Beast Titan before Zeke. I forget his name.
Saber.
Saber.
Yeah.
Tom
Seaver.
When they showed him recounting his wife and kid, where like the way they showed him remembering that in real time with him and Zeke, like the way they mixed those two together was really cool. And those are so many like small details that they didn't have to do, but since they did, it really brought everything to life and made it feel extra special.
I was
There's
also
Some solid directing choices. Yeah.
Yeah, with that scene you mentioned, there's the scene where there's a bloody baseball on the ground, and he goes and picks it up, and then when he picks it up, there's no blood on it, just sort of showing the separation between his mind and that trauma and actual reality. There's lots
Yeah.
of little touches like that.
Yeah. Yeah, like those have all been so fun to see, and it's so cool that they were able to bring it to life, but I also don't encourage that they had to do this on such a short schedule. Like that was definitely not good.
I feel bad for enjoying it so much. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I shouldn't support this, but
Yeah.
I really
Shouldn't support
appreciate and
crunch,
admire
but
your hard work.
Sadly, it's a reality of every single industry.
yeah.
Almost.
I was also surprised that I didn't mind the 3D Titans as much as I thought. It was gonna.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone was quaking in their boots over CGI, but I think the CGI was like pretty good where we saw it.
Yeah, especially with when Eren attacked Marley, like back in episode 5 and all of that. He just looked like ferocious, like unhinged, and it really worked well. So
Yeah, I think that was great too. I think it's kind of a miracle we made it here, and I mean, I don't know, it's just really cool. It makes me really happy.
was Attack on Titan the only one that switched studios? Like Haikyuu and Promised Neverland still had the same studio, right?
Yeah. Well, and for
Did Haikyuu
Haikyuu,
switch studio, or did it just switch art style?
No, it was the
had a
same
different
studio.
staff. Yeah, it's the same studio, but a lot of the different staff changed. Like I think the character designer changed and the director changed. So a lot of
It was
stuff
also
did
to
return,
fit.
but
Like there was a style change in the manga, right? So it was like to fit that.
Yeah.
It
was a mix of both.
Yeah, but I think that one, I don't even know if it, but that one's weird because I don't really think that one suffered because of the staff change. I really do think it was coronavirus kind of screwing everything up, because it was the same staff we got in season 4, part 1, and that was fine and excellent.
It was the outsourcing on those episodes that.
Yeah.
It was like, I forget the studio they outsourced to, but
yeah,
it didn't look like they had a lot of time.
Yeah. I think it was just like the consequences of Corona time. So, and it's still not like, and it's not like Haikyuu was bad. It just could have been a bit better, but I mean, it was still a fantastic season. And then, we're not talking about Promised Neverland right now. We're not doing that. We're not opening that box.
Glad I dropped it.
Yeah. People bringing it up in chat, like, please have some respect. It's way too soon.
Have some respect for the dead.
We will be holding a funeral for that at some point. Stay tuned. But, celebrating Attack on Titan, pulling off the Miracle Run, I think this was pretty dope. Where I asked Panic and Tay this a bit last episode, but now that we finally have the last episode out, what are you guys thinking of your rating for this, and how does it compare to like the other Attack on Titan seasons for you?
I actually just gave it a rating today by chance. I don't know. I didn't really think. I just based it on feeling. I think it was more like a 9 for me. It was pretty solid, but not like, I was like,
a 9 is pretty solid.
It's pretty all right.
It was good. No, it was good. But like I gave season 3 part 2 like a 10. So, it wasn't. Yeah. I thought that was just phenomenal. But this one was like really consistently good, like almost all the episodes. But I don't know. I thought it was like 9.
Do you think it's because it ended on a cliffhanger?
That's a big part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, cause like last week I was like really hyped up because I really loved how they did, the double feature, but not that that was just kind of how it happened, but just the week episode, the backstory. Like I thought that was really well done. But then this episode was kind of like just cut off, and since Mal does have you rated in, part 1, part 2, I'm like, all right, well, I guess this was like a 9.
Yeah. I'm wobbling between a 7 and an 8. I mean, with the cliffhanger, I think I ended up on a 7. It was good. I enjoy it.
What are your major complaints? Panic, now that Attack on Titan season the final season, part 1, it's now the top anime on my anime list. That means if you don't give it the most positive, most glowing rating, the most glowing review of all time, you're going to be canceled. So you better explain why you're not giving it a 10 out of 10 right now, mister.
But he likes Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Shit, I'm gonna make it 10 out of 10 then.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't. Panic would not think this score like that.
It's not like a glowing review. It's just, it was nice. It's pretty good. A little miffed that it ends like on a cliffhanger for something that's probably gonna be really hype, but that's not part of this season, so cool.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's fair because we're not getting the full story. I mean, I'm probably teetering between an 8 and a 9 myself, just because I could see giving it a 9. I don't know. I couldn't give it a 10 because it's not the full thing yet. I know how much I like this part, but
Yeah.
It is kind of feeling like we're rating like half the season without seeing what happens next. So I think that's totally fair.
So I think I'm the biggest fan then.
Yeah, so
Actually, Moz, what would you give it?
Yeah, okay. I gave this a decent to strong 9. And
Nice.
a lot of that is because
That's not a 10. Defend yourself. Defend your position.
Well, a 9 is acceptable. That's close enough to the average. So
Yeah.
And I would say it's maybe tied with season 3 part 2, which I also gave a 9. I don't know how I would specify it, but I would actually probably say this is the best part so far, and that's because I really admire like season 3 part 2 in a way brought many things with the series full. It brought lots of closure. It came full circle in lots of ways with the basement, all the reveals and stuff. But the way this season opened with the Marley arc and the direction the story took, it really felt like an actual evolution, and it was just so incredible to see a series grow in such complexity and maturity, but also just completely nail it. Like it was good.
It was good.
So yeah.
That's the quote on the DVD. It was good.
It was good. Exactly.
9 out of 10.
It was good.
With all the stuttering. Yeah, what were you saying, AJ?
Oh yeah.
Biggest fan. 18.
Yeah. So I guess I have the highest score because it's almost been a little bit sad how much I've been looking forward to each Sunday. I've loved it so much. I guess a perfect 10 out of 10 adaptation, minus all of the crunch and I'm assuming the COVID problems. This would have been an easy 10 if they had done everything I'm sure that all the staff wish they could have done.
Mm-hmm.
But given what we got, I'm not sure if it's the best adaptation of all the seasons, but it's right up there. And it combines with what's, in my opinion, the best story material. And so all that in combination with itself, I'm wavering between like a 9.5 and a weak 10. Like it's right up there for me.
Yeah.
I would actually say the same. Like a bit of a reason why I'm hesitant to give it a 10 is because of the cliffhanger, and I just would prefer to see, the full story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I kind of sometimes do this. Like I did this, I think, with the first season of Rakugo or Made in Abyss, where it's like, I'll give it a 10, but if I think the second part is even better, then I think I'll retroactively give the next one a 10, or like I'll give the first one a 10 and then retroactively drop it and give the other one a 10.
There's something strange about like rating the parts of a franchise.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be better to just be able to give Attack on Titan a score instead of all these bite-sized chunks.
I mean,
Well, it
that's
would
what
be
I
a bit-
prefer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
I think it'd also be easier. Oh, sorry, I'm keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, all I was gonna say is like I definitely agree with that. Like I felt kind of weird giving it like a 9 or like just a score when I know it's like a cliffhanger. It's not like the full story. Also, I didn't want to be petty about the cliffhanger either. I'm like, it's kind of just where it was gonna
It
end.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not trying to hold it against the series.
Yes.
Like.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, AJ.
I was just gonna say, I think it's easier for me to give it the highest or that high of a score because I know where it's going, and like I know I don't have that sort of issue.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. I was kind of thinking like I still haven't really figured out a good rating for Attack on Titan manga as a whole, which is, I'm just gonna hold up to the last chapter and find out. But I think I do really love like this story content, and I agree with everything Maz said. I think like the way I think of it is like season 1 to 3.5 is kind of like the first like part of Attack on Titan. Like that's like the first half, and so like 3.5 is such a, you know, it's such a great way to close off the first half by opening up the world, and I think it's really powerful and was a really powerful experience. Like when I think of my favorite scene, it might actually be that beach scene where Eren is like, you know, if we kill everyone out there, are we finally free? Like I love that scene so much.
Beautiful.
So beautiful. And that's just like such a, like, you know, I don't want to say it's such a unique, it's such a, yeah, me IRL. Yeah. It's just such a, like, you know, bittersweet, gratifying experience. And I don't know if this season has technically like reached those heights, but it's also in such a completely different playing field. You know, it's trying to do something different. And I do think it does it perfectly. I think I like everything that happens. Like, I love this part of the story. I love the developments and stuff. I think if I have any complaints, I do think there were a couple episodes in the middle, like, of the War for Paradise section. I got to double check the episode count where I feel like they, I don't know, maybe could have done a bit more with the pacing. I'm not sure. I feel like that's being a bit nitpicky, but in my head, it's just tough to kind of say this is on the same level as the second half of season 3, when that was just like, you know, such a perfect resolution to the first part. But I mean, not a criticism against this part by any means. I think it's really excellent, and I think they did a great job.
Yeah. Like I love everything this part is doing in terms of what Maz said, and I think Aleczandxr said about complexity. Like it's like an evolution, and it's doing all these things, and it's so different. And that's like, it even felt so different by virtue of the first few episodes being like, we're not even with the main cast, we're with the Marley kids, and not even knowing what's, at least I didn't know what was going on.
Even in a meta way, with Mappa being the, you know, the studio changing and the art style changing a bit.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's really good timing for that. So I'm gonna have to sit between the 8 or the 9. I'm not sure right now. It'll be a game time decision, but at the moment, everyone did a bit more. You guys did a good job of swaying me more towards the 9 than the 8. Yeah. So we will see. Like probably by the time.
I'm sorry for cutting off.
No, I was just saying we'll find out by the time we finish this stream what I do. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just like, I don't know if I should, like, I'm just curious if, because the one thing I do feel about this first part of the season is that, or this final season, is that it feels like a lot of build up. Like we're just building and building and building and building, and it hasn't reached the, at least like we did somewhat in the Marley stuff with Eren, but just after that, like we haven't reached the highs of season 3 part 2 yet. And I'm just curious if the next part of, you know, the manga, or the next part that's left, will reach those highs.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I had a bad joke.
Okay. So Marley in itself, the first 8 episodes was a pretty self-contained, I guess, arc. But after that, I do agree that it's pretty much all build up with some explosions here and there with the Zeke and Levi fight and the Zeke revelations and things like that. So I can imagine it is hard to give half of a season, which is essentially build up, a high score without knowing what it amounts to. So I can understand a lot of the trepidation there.
That's exactly what I'm feeling. Just like right there.
I was waiting for you to say that it didn't reach the peak yet, and then I could say, well, we did see peak this episode.
Oh, God.
So you didn't fall into my trap. So
you're right.
Job.
Peak was in it. 10 out of 10.
So I'm happy you didn't fall into my trap, but I had to bring it up. But no, I agree. I think I will say that I think everyone's going to be really excited for the next half of this season. So
I'm very excited, yes.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to see. I think it's, it is cool that it also reached the top of Mal. I hope we don't have more tomfoolery with the scores. I already see it happening, but I can just hope that we do not, and that people can just give like an honest rating for it. I don't want to think about Mal scores too much, but I do think it's really cool. And I think it's been really cool to see the way Attack on Titan has transformed throughout the years, and the way the community has changed their opinions on it. I feel like we've all gone through, like, maybe not everyone, but I think we all had a completely different impression of season 1 than we do now. And it's just cool I feel like we all grew with the series in a really cool way.
Okay, yeah, I definitely did.
That you're gonna be like, not me. I'm built different.
No, I did. I actually, first time watching it, I really enjoyed it, but kind of viewed it as this not completely shallow, but shallower than it was sort of popcorn series.
hmm
Yeah.
And over time was really glad to be proven that it was much more than that, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's also, and I do think it did a good job at being like it did a good job of what it set out to do in season one, especially with like, I mean, it was a very intense series. It captured a lot of people's, hearts and entertainment. Like, I think it did a good job with that too. But it also did kind of lay the groundwork for more to happen. But it was tough, as we've kind of discussed this episode. It's kind of tough to reward something for buildup when we haven't seen the payoff of the buildup. And I do think that's kind of what season one was. So
yeah. I don't mean at all to say that it was just a popcorn series in season one. I just missed out on a lot of the little intricacies the first time watching it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and I also feel like the community didn't really back then at least didn't take season one like too seriously. Like I think people had a problem with the adaptation. Yeah. Like I remember
Kids
all
swimming around fighting big guys.
Yeah. And all the hype around the opening song, which was played everywhere.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was first watching the series weekly, I got to like episode 5 and I couldn't wait anymore. So I just jumped into the manga and I just caught up to what was there at that time. So I was like, this is insane. But yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to see. I'm glad that everyone seems to be having a good time with it. Even Tay, who gave season 1 a 5, he is enjoying it. He bonded over it. He might. What if he ends up giving it a higher score than you, Panic? That's gonna be a role reversal right there. But
I mean, that's fine.
no, I'm trying to build it up to be dramatic because it's funny. Stop.
Then I will get mine higher, I guess.
You have to no, what you have to do is you have to send him the screenshot of Eren and Reiner shaking hands, saying we're the same, and then just leave it at
We're
that.
not so different, you and I.
Yeah, I mean, this was exciting. It was cool to see, and it was cool to talk about. Did you guys have for like me and Panic were the only ones who talked about last week's episode? Did you guys want to talk about that or any other part of the season that you guys didn't? Because there's a lot to highlight. So, there's anything else we wanted to bring up?
I don't know if there's anything necessary to bring up to the podcast, but I did catch up to those 2 episodes today. And it was I made the terrible mistake where I went out and got breakfast, and then I came home and I was eating it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna watch Attack on Titan while I have myself a nice breakfast. And that was a big mistake because it was really hard to eat with my freaking jaw on the ground. Like that entire episode 73 or 14 for this season, the whole thing was just unbelievable. And then the fight with Levi and Zeke once again. I don't know how these guys can keep fighting and they still make it the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I agree.
I still think it's so freaking hilarious that Zeke just turns around, sees Levi again.
He's like, oh no, not again. Not this shit again.
Yeah, I love how they make it so funny, but also like really hype at the same time. Like, it's so funny to just be like, not this shit again.
And it's just amazing how, like, not even in Titan form, he can't do anything against him. This time he just pops him right out.
Yeah, I love that. I think that one line, too, that he has of, where he's, like, surprised that Levi has to, like, kill his comrades. He's like, how many comrades do you think I've killed thus far? You know? Like, such a powerful line. Yeah. Like, I woke up doing this.
Woke up like this.
Yeah. And I think they did a great job with Zeke's backstory in general. That might be, I think many people had that as their episode of the season. I don't know if I do, but
it's definitely right up there for me. I thought it was really well directed, pretty emotional, great storyboarding, like basically everything I hoped for that section of the story to be. Yeah,
and it's a really important episode because Zeke is very crucial to this part of the series, and I think I'm not actually sure how the community responded to him up until then, like, at least in the manga section, because I feel like no one was really calling him, like, I don't know, I feel like no one's calling him a bitch for like betraying his parents, but then it makes a lot of sense when you see it in context of how, how he felt, how everything was put on him. And I think it makes for a really interesting way for how he came to his current ideals and goals. So I think they did a great job.
Yeah.
Weren't you someone who aren't you not too hot on Zeke or something like that?
It's kind of tough to describe because I feel like I always appreciated Zeke, but I never stand Zeke. I was never like a Zeke top 3, Zeke easily better than all these characters kind of person. So I think kind of by comparison, I'm less hot on Zeke, but I do think at this point in the manga, I wasn't like a super stan for Zeke, even though I understood his motives and I thought it was an interesting perspective to have. But I do think the episode made me warm up to him a bit more. So I'll give it the nod on that, but I will call him a bitch behind his back and berate Zeke stands and be like, guys are 0 for 3. I'm just saying.
Go call him a bitch and then you'll run away and hide behind Levi.
Yeah, I can't hide behind him. We're the same height. It doesn't work.
Wait,
yeah,
Shaw,
then you fit perfectly.
Yeah.
Did we finally reach the point where Zeke is interesting, or do we not know if he's interesting yet?
Oh, that's right. Because we keep saying Zeke is interesting, and you guys thought I was spoiling Zeke. No, I think this is the part where Zeke is interesting for everyone who was wondering.
Interesting.
Now that he's in the tummy of a Titan.
Yeah, not with the top tier backstory, but now that he got shoved in the stomach of a Titan, kangaroo style, now he's interesting.
I never expected Zeke to be humanized for me in any way, and that just backstory was just so well done. So that was good.
I do have to give it up for Zeke. I do think he is in like my top 10 Attack on Titan characters for reference. It's a mess right now, but I do
that's
really like it.
That's pretty good.
Oh yeah. Like I never hated Zeke. I just wasn't as hot on him as so many other people. You know how it goes where people are like Zeke clear of everyone but Eren, like the discourse.
True.
Yeah. But I do think they did a great job with his backstory and they did humanize him really well. For like character who is responsible for a lot of really, really terrible acts, a lot of terrible deaths, and they humanized him very well. So I have a few more favorite questions. What if you don't have Zeke's episode as your favorite of the season, do you guys have a favorite episode that stood out amongst the rest of the season?
I have no idea. That's a really difficult question.
In my mind, it's probably not the right answer for me, but the one I keep coming back to is the Reiner and Eren discussion in the basement. I keep thinking about that.
That's good.
That was so tense. It was such a good episode. But I don't know if that's my favorite.
Attack on Titan and basements. Name a more iconic duo.
But I mean, it might not be my favorite, but it does live rent free.
Yeah, I guess that's a better question. You don't have to say favorite. Which scene or episode lives in your head rent free?
And that one.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Aside from 14 and 15 were really big highlights. Aside from those two, I do agree that the Declaration episode was right up there. And then 7 and 8, along with the Zeke episode, are in my top 3. That's, I guess, part 2 of the conflict in Liberio. The episode where sort of Armin joins in and all of that. And then the Sasha death episode. Those two are both in my top 3.
Yeah, in my head, I keep thinking of it as the Nutcracker episode.
Yep.
Which is like...
Oh, yeah.
The Nutcracker scene. Yeah. I don't know. It's a tough call. It's a really tough call. I do think it is possibly between the Zeke episode and the Nutcracker episode for me, but the scene in the basement is really top tier as well.
Yeah. I'm pretty much of the same opinion. The Zeke episode and episode 5 with Eren.
Yeah.
And Marley.
Yeah.
I think right now I just say episode 14 just because it's so fresh in my memory.
Yeah. So this is a question. This is not it might be a hard one. Is the episode title Savagery or Violence? I cannot tell.
I thought it was Violence.
Is it called Violence?
I had.
Okay, I had that, but then I saw Savagery in another one.
Yeah, I have Savagery where I've seen it.
I'm not sure. That's not a big deal. If you guys know, just let me know. I'd like to know because I wasn't sure if they're just calling like.
Crunchyroll says savagery.
Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. I was not 100% sure because I wasn't sure if we get to call like the Levi Zeke fight Savage, and then like that's what they're calling it too. It'd be kind of funny, but yeah, that works either way.
Unchained.
Unchained, unleashed.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you guys? I guess I have one more favorite question, and then if you guys wanted to bring up anything else, we could discuss real quick. But as of this moment, who is your favorite character in the series? Sorry, I'm sorry, hard-hitting question.
That's tough.
That is tough. Peak. No.
Well, peak
I think
fiction.
I think you asked it last time, and I said Reiner.
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
He's coming back. I'm excited to see Reiner.
Yeah.
My favorite, honestly, normie answer, I know, legacy answer, Levi.
Thank you.
I was also thinking Levi.
My people still.
Yeah.
My brainwashing has.
Especially because I'm putting stock in him still being alive.
Of course, there's no way.
Okay, so I mean, so I guess I'm on this. Okay, I'm so torn.
I mean, we know we're gonna say Levi because
whatever.
short game.
Yeah, whatever. Short. It's just so nice having short people repping short people.
We stand as short king.
Short king. I'm just saying they got a song for it. Got to rep them. So I mean, there's other reasons, but I still just get way too excited when it's like. I still just get way too excited to see him carrying the burden of everyone who's dying around him and how depressing it is. Because for most characters, dying is a more tragic end, but for him, living is infinitely more suffering. So
he can't die because then how could he suffer?
Exactly. AJ or Onimaru, do you guys have one? I know I keep asking the hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me because I don't know. I feel like I don't feel particularly attached to anyone. I'm kind of just for the first time. I'm kind of just seeing where what they're gonna do. Just because I don't know. I feel like obviously I was rooting for Eren before this season. Now I'm kind of like I don't even know what he's thinking. I was rooting for him during the first half in Marley. Now I'm just like
that too. This episode, like, can I even root for Eren? I mean, I did like him. Now he's like, I don't know what until I know what he's planning.
Now he's kind of an asshole.
He's kind of a fucking asshole right now.
If anything, as of like the last 2 episodes, I feel closer to Zeke and Levi. So,
damn.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry. Zeke is also has potential to be one of my favorites, or if not my favorite.
He's not there.
Anyway, sorry, AJ.
No, it's fine. It's hard to answer the question without being tainted by my manga opinion. But at this point in the story, I think it was basically a fluid top 3 of Eren, Erwin, like Commander Smith,
of course,
and Reiner, and then slightly below that was Levi, Zeke, Armin. And then slightly below them was Grisha and Jean. I believe that's what it was.
Erwin's so good that even in death, he haunts the top 3.
So at this point, I'm pretty sure that's what it looked like. Right now, it's a bit different, but that's because I can't ignore what's happened post anime, I guess.
Yeah, it's really tough to ignore that as well. That's just like a lot of stuff, in a good way. So you guys have a lot to look forward to. Maybe your rankings will change too. We'll see. We'll have to see until next time because, I mean, we have a whole nother season to look forward to less than a year from now.
Less than a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
so,
off.
The walls are down.
Enough time to have a kid, name it after your favorite character, and then find out that character is a war criminal.
It is really funny how Grisha went 0 for 2 on children. Even when he raised them 2 completely different ways, his genes are just that tainted.
Just can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, he's just not doing well with having kids. So, that's really funny, and I still love the meme of Eren, the meme with Eren saying, what is it? Mikasa is stronger than me, and Armin is smarter than me. So I argue with Mikasa, and I fight with Armin.
Fight with Armin. That's great.
I still love that. So Eren, top tier in a nutshell. But Yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say. It's been a really great time. And we've had a lot of fun bringing on so many different guests, especially you two, over and over again. And we got to talk about the progression of this series in real time. We got some, some Twitter nuclear fallout from different events that shouldn't have been Twitter fights. But it's been a fun time. It's been a fun past couple months. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to say on the series?
No, just that when we first started doing this, I think I've mentioned this before, and I'm sorry if I did. I forget. Imagine listening to this podcast. Can't be me. Imagine remembering what I said on this podcast. Yeah, can't be me. But
Can't be me.
when we started doing this series, at first I was like, yeah, whatever. Attack on Titan, yeah, that's cool, I guess. But then it really quickly became the highlight of my week. Now every week it's like, oh man, Attack on Titan, and that's going to be a great episode. And then we get to do the podcast, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to. I'm really glad we're getting part 2 of the final season because I'm really looking forward to doing this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Because Attack on Titan quickly, became something I really enjoyed looking forward to every Sunday. But having this podcast for the time, or this live stream for the times that I came on, like right after, was a great way to digest what I just watched.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Like work it out live. What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've had a really great chat too, who's filled us in on, they've given their opinions and they've done a great job of like filling us in when we had questions. So I'm really thankful for chat being so active and being so, passionate, especially like the week that we couldn't do an episode because of the earthquake. People were like sad that they couldn't join. So I appreciate people looking forward to this. I think it's been really awesome. We've done a few weekly series, but I do think this is probably the most fun one just because it's been fun to see everyone's predictions in real time and fake spoil everyone by calling things interesting, even though I genuinely mean it's interesting and not
Fascinating.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a fun time. I'm just hopeful that we have not cursed the series just like we did the Promised Neverland season 1. Hopefully we did not curse that, but I have faith in Mappa's staff. They've done good. They've proven that they can do really well even under
this season.
They have, and maybe not Mappa for taking on such a tight schedule, but praise to Mappa's staff who has done a great job.
Who pulled it off.
Yeah.
They killed it.
The Doro Hetero staff, they did it again. It might be possible that the same group of people made Anime of the Year 2 years in a row, and it was a different anime for both years. Because this is a strong contender for Anime of the Year for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've also finished anime for this year, so that means a lot more than if I say it, because I'm behind on everything. So, I mean, that's good to hear that you think this is like a strong contender.
This is actually the first anime I've completed this year so far.
So
by that metric, it actually really is truly the Anime of the Year. It's the best one I've seen.
Well, that never wins my praise for you, and now that's high praise. Damn it.
It might be the best of. Nah, wait, I gave B stars an 8. I like B stars more.
And then
B stars is a good alternative.
And then in like 1 week, everything I just said is going to be invalidated because The World Ends With You is going to start.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's exciting. I'm excited to see that because I never got to play the game, and it's Kingdom Hearts season in my house.
It's the best game of all time. It's my favorite thing ever. So that's all that matters to me.
That makes me happy.
I know this is probably heresy, but I'm not too excited for the anime. I did play the game. I don't know, so I'll check it out. I'm not a believer in game adaptations, though.
Oh, so did you like the game though?
Oh yeah, no, I love the game.
Okay, so it's not the game. You just don't trust game adaptations because I'm with you. I'm with you. I've seen the Persona 5 adaptation, and it's not good.
Yeah, but the World Ends With You is like. Persona 5 is a 100-hour game, though. Like, that was never going to work out. The World Ends With You is like 20 hours.
Oh, they could do
actual
that.
combat. Yeah, it can work.
That sounds easier than visual novels.
You know what? I'm in. You son of a bitch. I'm in.
Hey, World Ends With You live stream every week.
Weekly The World Ends With You podcast.
That would be fun.
The week ends with you.
Every week.
Oh my god.
Every Sunday.
Wait, you got it. There we go.
Hey,
we finally have a title we can meme. Perfect. Yeah, I think I mean I'm looking forward to that too. I think if anything, despite not me immediately giving this season of Attack on Titan a 10, I was just thinking about it, and I just finished Breaking Bad this morning, and the fact that I went from Breaking Bad, peak fiction, and then I watched this, and I was just as excited for this as I was Breaking Bad, and how I can hold those two on the same level. I think it shows, in my head at least, that Attack on Titan is, you know, peak fiction, and and that means a lot. And no, it's not just peak fiction, because peak is in the episode. I hate that I revealed that joke. So yeah, it was a good time.
It's been a good day for fiction, for peak fiction.
Good day of peak
in
fiction.
The Cha household.
Yeah. In my house, we love all forms of peak fiction. Yeah, so, I mean, did you guys have anything else before we call it quits for now?
Go watch the VOD of me being on Anime Jeopardy
Oh.
and getting Sawano wrong.
Oh my gosh, wait,
Can
I embarrass you in front of everyone? Am I allowed to?
You already did many times.
Okay, you posted it to our Twitter, so that means it's fair game. So
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know, but you guys know Replay Value? He has a cool channel now. He's doing like Twitch streams, I guess.
Yeah.
And so he's doing like Anime Jeopardy, and I think he did like a beta phase. And you know, our own representative Panic showed up. We rolled up. We're so hyped for him. He gets a question about like Sawano tracks, and one of the examples was "You Say Big Girl," and the answer was Sawano. And Panic got it wrong, and we're like, "Bro, we've done an Attack on Titan podcast for like 3 months now."
LOL.
So
Wait, what was the question even?
I forget what the exact wording was, but it was like, which composer is known?
There was the question about the guy who does weird track titles.
Yeah, it was like, which composer is known for like unique track titles, unique hype track titles, such as "You Say Big Girl" and like.
You Say Big Girl. Is that an Attack on Titan song? Was I supposed to know that?
That's the
yes.
Which one?
That's the one from when Reiner and Bertold betrayed them, and they played that one. And remember in like episode 5 or whatever, how people wanted that track to be played when Eren transformed and like declared war on them.
Song?
See, it doesn't even matter, because the question is which composer has the weird track titles, and there's only one answer, and it's the answer everyone knows. Like
that was the question.
What?
Okay, yeah. So the question was like tangentially related.
If the question was
Attack
like,
on
It was specifically related.
if the question was like, you know, he played a song sample, and it's like, all right, what's the name of the song? See, I wouldn't have gotten that, admittedly. But if it was just, you know, name this composer, I'm bullying you for that.
But I mean,
it was worth bullying.
it was a 50-50 shot between Sawano and Kevin Penkin, because they do all.
Kevin Penguin uses like words.
Kevin Penguin.
Kevin
real words.
Kevin Penguin's titles are like tomorrow and the first layer, whereas Sawano uses like dead ass hieroglyphics for some of his titles.
Literally.
Like
I didn't know that.
Listen, if in Panic's defense, if I would have heard "You Say Big Girl," but it's also because I'm not really great with OSTs, I would have thought like, oh, it sounds like "You Say Run," Yuki Hayashi, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I don't know names of composers. What am I, some kind of anime nerd?
What am I, some kind of?
What do I know? Expecting me to know anime knowledge joins an anime trivia stream.
You did good despite that, though.
Jeopardy. That did great, by the way.
You did very good. You did better on the real life section. But anyway, go watch that. We are bullying him in chat. We'll post a link somewhere. It was really fun. It looks like a fun time. I hope he does more of those, because it was a good time.
Speaking of VODs, Sha and Onimaru, you guys had a pretty interesting podcast lately.
Yeah, we did. So Onimaru last week was able to finally come up with his top 50 anime, which I was really looking forward to. I was excited to see the end of the Mal arc. Are we calling it the Mal arc? Mal favorites arc?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. And then we also got to talk to Giguk, and I'm just gonna call him Joe, but
Pause and Select.
Joe from Pause and Select.
I feel bad calling him Pause and Select, so I was like,
just Joe from Pause and Select.
Yeah. So we got to talk to those two on the Just Weebs channel, so we'll post a link to that too. We had some really fun conversations, so hopefully you guys can check it out.
Congrats
we have some highlights for those.
Yeah, congrats on the launch of the channel, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And, it's been a fun time.
AJ, what have you been up to? You have a new video out, don't you?
I do. It's about a little-known series called Attack on Titan.
What? I've never heard of this.
I hear that show has music by Sawano.
Hieroglyphics and all.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
excited to
it's
see that.
free. It's spoiler free for anime watchers if anyone's interested. Just released it a couple days ago.
Mhm.
Yeah. You got a great title for it too. Attack on Titan and the Chains of Helios.
Helios.
Helios. So
I just
And
go by
Chain of Hello.
the sub's pronunciation, but it could have easily been wrong. I have no idea.
yeah, it looks really exciting. I'm excited to check it out. I haven't gotten to see it yet because your last video reminded me that I have another game to add to my plan to play list, and I cannot handle more games to play. So I'm excited to go check this out.
What are
We
you
will
playing?
also post a link to your channel in our description, though I think people probably know where to find you. But just in case, we will.
Yeah, I'll
Appreciate
link
it.
all your stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, before we go, can I give a quick shameless
Yeah.
plug?
Yes.
Do the go for it.
Recently came out with a new video about this
right.
anime that I recently watched. Was really into. It's titled "The Anime You'll Regret Skipping." If you could check that out, it needs more views. It's on my Onimaru channel. It's really about the anime called World Trigger, which season 2 is airing right now. So it deserves more love. It needs more love. It's so good.
I was trying to figure out from the thumbnail, I'm like, which anime am I going to regret skipping? And then I remembered it was like, I think I remember you mentioning this. And I was like, oh, wait, it might be that one, but I still don't know the title. So,
Yeah, because most people kind of did. Even I did. So, you know. And it's some people didn't watch it because they thought like, oh, I don't know anything about the show, but it's meant for people who didn't watch it. So no worries if you've don't know anything about it.
Oh, dope. Okay, that's cool. So those are two good videos that everyone can check out after this. And they'll tide us over until the next season, along with everything else you guys put out. So, and hopefully what we put out. So, stay tuned. We're not going anywhere. So
Yeah. Look forward to that. We're doing our retrospective soon. I also have, I'll say there'll be a couple of I guess experimental podcasts that will be dropping the next couple of weeks. So do stick around and subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah.
And
so
yeah, follow us on all our social media, Twitter, Discord. Links are all in the description, And thank you everybody for joining us on not only this stream but all the past streams. And not only that, but also the people on the MP3 platforms. We appreciate you guys also listening, even if you're not tuning in live. We appreciate anyone who's listening to us.
Yeah.
Thank you for making us part of your day.
Aw, that's a good send off. Thank you for making us part of your day, and thank you Moz and Panic also for letting me bully you into doing this. So I appreciate everyone.
Anytime.
Oh God, Sean, I just hate doing podcasts. Why would you make me do
That's
this?
the worst.
Holding you guys at gunpoint to do more Attack on Titan streams, but yeah.
4 a.m. 4 p.m. time for your podcast.
Just honestly, Shaw, thank you for having the initiative to do this and not the Promise Never Weekly.
Yeah, honestly,
yes.
Yeah, I mean,
you saved us from certain death.
That may have been just as good, to be honest.
Would it have been more fun? I think yes.
I think that, it's like, could we have, banging our head against the wall each week, or yelling goat hype?
It would have been a downward spiral.
But those are the podcasts I love. Have you ever heard of
optimistic podcast devolves into madness?
You ever heard of the worst idea of all time, where two New Zealanders watch Sex and the City 2 every week for a year, review it every week?
I had a friend who did that. My friend, they and a couple friends watched the Santa Claus 3 every week and did a podcast every week for an entire year.
And you just hear them like unravel and noticing the weirdest details. That's great.
I love that. We should watch the Santa Claus 3 Christmas time.
Yes.
Christmas. Yeah. The Santa Claus 3 podcast coming. Anyway, all right, we're waffling a lot.
Anyway,
we're gonna let you guys go. Thank you once again for tuning in, and we'll hopefully see you next time for part 2. So, bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye.